when getting started working with the details in your clay, first of all, make sure you have a nice clean surface. You can use one of these tools to clean off your board. And then also it's important to have nice clean tools like your knife. You could take a rag and clean it off, or you can go on the edge here to get it nice and even. To make a sphere, you're going to take your clay and you're going to take a smaller amount, depends on how big you're going, but you're going to put it in your palm and you're going to work it like this to make it nice and round. When you do this, you don't want to overdo it. If you do it too long, it starts to get really dry and it'll start to crack. Okay? So I'm just going to work it here for a few more seconds until it's nice and round. Okay? After I do that, I could turn it into something else, like I could flatten it. So if I want it to be a circle, I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to make it nice and flat, trying to get it to a little bit thinner. Depends on how thick you want it to go. From here, you can have this on your piece. You could use it as something. If you'd like to cut it, you can make it into like semicircles. So you can cut it. These are nice shapes to work with. Or you could do triangles, cut it into half. But just have nice clean surface and nice cuts when you work making shapes. For our next technique, I'm going to show you how to make some coils. So you take a piece of clay and you're going to start off in your hand and go back and forth, and you're going to make it into like a hot dog shape. Okay, once you have it a little bit longer, you're going to roll it out. Okay. You can do this on your board. It works really nice to go on here. You can use a squirt bottle to make it a little bit moist while you're doing this if it gets too dry. But don't over wet it. You're going to go back and forth, and I like to go with two hands like this, and you can make a nice coil of clay. So just a long, skinny piece of clay. Okay, and that's a really nice one. If you want it to be more flat, what you can do is take the palm of your hand, and this can be good. So for your project, you can make some lettering with this, numbers that you could place on your project, or it almost kind of looks like a scarf or like a piece of tape. So this could be used for many things to add to your project. Another technique you can do with your coils is you could take it and you can make it into a spiral. So you could take one end and you could spiral them up. This is kind of a fun way to make some patterns in your work. You could add it to your project. You can also cut these as well. Okay, so you can cut them and you can get different shapes as well. You might want to smooth them a little bit together in the back so it stays together, but that's kind of a fun way to work with them as well. All right, for our final technique, we're going to talk about textures, way that you can add texture to your clay. So we do have some tools, something like this you could use. You could run it over it to make a texture really simple and easy, but we're kind of limited on those because I don't have a ton of those. But I do have some like texture plates that we could use. So what you would do there is just kind of find the texture plate that you want, press it on top, press it into your clay, like so, and then as I take it off, you can see the pattern or the texture on there. Something else you could do, you can actually draw your textures into it by using different tools. Even a pencil works as well for drawing into the clay. There's also some lids, some old marker lids that I have. If you go at an angle, this kind of works nice if you have like feathers. If you're doing like an owl or something like that, you can go at an angle to create some really cool textures there. All right, guys, hopefully this helps getting started with the detailing part of your project.